right, the rundown. November 15th, 2023. Jeff D'Lo, Kirk Minahan, and the Rocket.
Wow.
Welcome back to the rundown, Jared Carrabis.
So John Rich asked me to do it, and I was like, what fucking big baseball story did I miss? I was like, I don't know why. And then he goes, don't worry about it. Like, we're probably not going to talk about a bunch of sports. And then we get the rundown. Like, the first three stories are like NBA, NFL. I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here?
Jared texted me. He's all nervous about this. Like, you think I'm going to get into the NFC South or whatever? I mean,
maybe.
I swear to God, I have never looked at an email from the rundown ever. I've not read one word from it ever. I imagine it's just all stupid stories. I would have to imagine if John Rich is doing it.
Before we get into it, high noon. Time to load up. High noon game day pack is back. Also, I'll add, they got the press pack. They got the new tangerine flavor. I finally tried it at the Barstool Invitational. It's easily my favorite, but I do like orange flavored things, so that's not a surprise. But the game day pack's got pear, cranberry, black cherry, grapefruit, real juice, real vodka, 100 calories, gluten-free, no added sugar, high noon game day pack, and much more. That's a fall exclusive. The new Dave pack as well. You get like a little QR code. You get like a digital Dave on your high noon pack. Visit highnoonspirits.com for your next tailgate to find a pack near you. See what's available locally. Shout out to the delicious high noon. Yeah, the quick sports news. This was the greatest week as a Browns fan, maybe my lifetime, and now the quarterback's out for the year, so that's fucking sick. Very cool. So we can breeze past that.
I hate when bad things happen to good people. It's a shame. Really,
and now I got Steelers. I got fucking what Jerry's co-host is not to say anyone deserves an injury. It's like these people who rooted for Big Ben for years. Oh my God, so I can't say anything. It's miserable.
Yeah,
miserable.
Yeah. Who's Jerry's co-host for what?
His Steelers podcast.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Is he out for the year? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's out for the year. He's just done for the year.
Oh,
just
good.
Done.
So good.
Their backups are garbage.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah.
So that's football.
Jared, what's your take on that?
I feel like shoulder injuries for quarterbacks probably not good.
Oh, you knew the injury?
I saw something on Instagram about it. It came across. It had to be forcefully put in front of me.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson knows about that.
Let's do quick baseball. Snap Ohtani prediction, Jared.
I think it's gonna be a fascinating free agency in terms of the teams that maybe come out of the woodwork to sign him. But I feel like everyone thinks he's going to the Dodgers. I feel like it's gonna be boring. I want to see what teams put together. At least I want to see the teams that try. Give me a team that's gonna try. Give me a team that's gonna say to themselves, "All right, it's gonna cost $500 million." But can we make that make financial sense? Because all these owners they're billionaires, they're business people, and this isn't just a baseball decision. This is a global marketing decision. Do we get this random ass team that makes him a ridiculous offer because they know what it'll do from a business perspective? But through all that thought, you're just probably going to land on, he's just going to go to the Dodgers.
Could you imagine, Kirk, if you turned to your right one day and you got guests in studio, Jared next to Shohei Ohtani?
Could happen. I think he's Kirk Minahan guarantees going to the Giants. Lock it up.
The Giants.
That's right.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Lock it up.
Why you think that?
Isn't he on the plane going there today or something?
I don't know. Everyone. He loves Boston.
I thought he was on a private plane today. I thought I saw that on Twitter. No, am I wrong?
I don't know.
You don't think he was happy in the picture, the big smile on his face. So I was like, oh, he seemed happy. Why not? It's a great area.
I just keep hearing about his fondness for Fenway Park and how much he loves the city of Boston. So
they're not spending. Those losers. They're not spending money on it. There's no way they're spending $500 million on anybody. No chance. Zero.
But again, John Henry, business guy. No one cares about the Red Sox right now, and it pains me to say that. You know how much it pains me to say that.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit, and it sucks that if you were to power rank the 4 Boston sports teams, because before, if the Red Sox were bad, you would at least this is when you were doing your talk radio era, Kirk. So you would know when they were so bad, people would still call in because they were angry. They wanted to talk about how bad they are. Now people it's apathy. No one gives a shit. I feel like they
was it the Betts trade?
Partly, I think it was definitely the Betts trade. It was the Heim era of fans being convinced that they're the Tampa Bay Red Sox. Like, they're just not going to spend money anymore. Like, this is their new philosophy. We're going to try and win with less. Like, that's just not appealing. Like, I get that there are models where you can win with less. I mean, the Guardians, you would know, Jeff, like the Guardians, they don't spend a ton of money, but they get to the playoffs more often than not, especially under Tito. And this idea that the Red Sox were going to try to adopt this new model is fucking boring. Like, you can't do that in Boston. You need stars here in this market.
Is that your take as a big Sox fan, Kirk?
I was actually looking for my birthday. Blind Mike sent us little TV guides. I was looking at it while Jared was talking about the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not signed. He's not. John Henry's. He's not signed. No.
It is. I mean, it is. It's a great.
I don't want Jared to be that happy. I don't want that to happen.
I don't even know that I would be that. I mean, like,
Jared playing kickball with him on some Nesson show. My life is too short to suffer through that.
Me and Lou Merlone both kind of are in the same boat.
Oh, wow.
Where we
Giants.
Well, I'm just saying we both are kind of like, yeah, maybe spend that money somewhere else. We're not gung ho about it.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I will say, I'll just say this and end the subject on this. It doesn't make sense to sign anybody for that much money. Like, you're right. Like, if from a business, if you can make money off it, from a baseball perspective, if you have any budget at all, it actually makes no sense to sign this guy, as great as he is, to that contract. I mean, that's nuts.
I agree.
But the Giants are going to do it. I talked to Brian Sabian earlier today.
Brian Sabian?
Yeah. He still has friends in the organization.
Oh, okay.
I spoke to Willie Mays. Yeah,
Got
we
it.
talk every Tuesday.
Wow.
And Wednesday, as it were.
It's incredible.
Lock it in for those interested. Kirk, any thoughts on the Netflix Cup golf event that just happened in Vegas last night? I don't know if you saw this, Jared.
I hate it. I hate it. I'm a golf guy, obviously, and I don't like to plug stuff here. The KMS golf shirts go up at 3:00 today, which I'm looking forward to. In collaboration with Will Compton, we're putting together a little shirt line. But I don't like when guys are hitting golf balls. I hate that stupid thing in Las Vegas with the
sphere. It was right next to the sphere. Yeah,
I fucking hate that. Arnold Palmer's rolling around in his grave. Bobby Jones must be vomiting. I don't. And it's like losers, like feet. It's just a loser parade, like Justin Thomas and Finau. It's too goofy. It's too fucking goofy. I don't like. This is coming from somebody who takes miniature golf very seriously. I understand that. But like, I don't, it feels like even this league they're doing now in Boston, the one the other day with McElroy, the teams, McElroy and Keegan. Like, I don't even know what this stuff is.
I will say that virtual golf thing, you couldn't, I mean, in terms of like big sports things, you could not have me less interested in that.
Oh, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know. I'm looking at, I'm going on Twitter. I'm looking at Brandon Walker hitting balls in friggin' places now. And you're like, what happened to the guy just teeing up a ball and just playing golf? Why is that? Why does everything have to be so goddamn? Like, again, that stupid sphere the other day is like these big eyes looking at me. I'm like, what? Can I just watch? Is it that hard to sit there and watch somebody play golf, for, 7, 8, 12 hours like I could do? I don't know. I'm old though. So, I'm 56 years old. So what the hell do I know?
Jared, did you know much about this event? Did you see it?
The only golfers that I know are Justin Thomas because he idolizes David Ortiz and Paige Spiranek. That's it.
Yeah, they paired Formula One because the F1 race in Vegas happened, which they've been building the track in Vegas for 6 months, and they drained the gondolas at whatever the fucking Venetian or that, like everything. You can't see the Bellagio. It's crazy. And apparently ticket prices are horrible now too. Like the attendance is expected to be terrible. It's going to rain all weekend. And they paired up F1 drivers with golfers and they did like a speed golf thing. It was like the most Netflix thing. They had the one, I think, who was teeing off? It might've been like Max Homa was teeing off and they had like the murder robot from Squid Game looking over.
Yeah. I don't need that in my life. Like I don't, Max Homa, win a major. Just don't worry about hitting, leave me alone. What's your name? Is Paige what?
I know Max Homa too. Spiranek. I know Max Homa too. We follow each other.
Is she on social media or no?
She has
okay.
Yeah.
Does she get okay? Yeah.
But I do know Max Homa.
You know him?
Yeah, well, we follow each other. Yeah, we're friends.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
For who's a friend of Max Homa
is
Riggs.
Oh,
right.
This is juicy. I just caught up on this right before we came on.
I kind of feel like Compton's friends with them too, but
I could write a book on this, honestly. I listened to the interview. I looked at the Twitter stuff. I'm friends with both these guys. And if you watch Surviving Barstool, you'll find out that Will Compton and I certainly formed some sort of, whether it's alliance or hatred. We have something going on in that. So let me be the first person on the Barstool platform to explain this feud in a really long fashion today. Just attribute to my friend Kevin Francis Clancy, who spent 76 minutes setting something up. So, I mean, it's just pretty much, well, go ahead, Jeff. You're the host. I'll let you do it.
No, you sure? You seem to have this eloquently all mapped out in your head.
I'll just say, so a few months ago, April, right around the Masters, a tournament Will Compton didn't know about today, he sent a text to Riggs saying, hey, how about we do some wacky bit, like we pretend that we're the first people to do golf merch. Let's do this together, and we'll go back and forth. We'll have some fun. And Riggs is basically in a Riggs way, like, nah, I have no interest in that. That's fucking stupid. Fuck you. Frankie goes on Barstool Radio yesterday and is like, we're not close to collaboration. So then Compton put together this video, which was pretty funny last night, I thought, dumping all over Riggs. I'm missing something though, Jeff. See, I screwed it up. Where Riggs then went after Will. It's put up the old text, right? Put up the text from April, because Will then went to Frankie. Right? Am I fucking this whole thing up? I think I'm fucking.
No, I mean, you're basically the only thing between was
up, Jerry?
There was Riggs' tweet.
Yeah,
Riggs responded to Will's quote tweet of the Frankie moment,
and and he ratioed Will.
Put up the original text back and forth, and then Will did a funny video, and then today they were on Barstool Radio. I think is pretty much what happened, and they had a good back and forth. But I thought Will's video was very funny.
Riggsy, my special little boy. I tucked my daughter in earlier, and now I can get you ready for bed as well. So your tweet, number one, your ratio. What a ratio. Hats off to you. That was a hell of a comeback, a great ratio. As a matter of fact, saying that I came to you about wanting to do fake beef so that way we could promote bussin' merch, but here we are on the internet having a little bit of fun. When I came to you and approached you back in April, I think it was around like the Masters is when we did our Bussin' Golf drop, which, by the way, we were asked to do that because golf merch flies off the shelves. You guys have the #1 brand. And I meant it when I said that. I respect what you guys have built. You guys are the big dogs on campus. Like a lot of the Barstool brands we've came to get to know and want to rub elbows with, because Barstool, you guys are the best at what you do.
I thought Riggs... I scored the fight like 116-110 Riggs today. I thought that was a pretty clear Riggs win head-to-head today, because he has the truth on his side.
If we go back to the receipt of the whole thing, it's I come from the Dave Portnoy, brick by brick, fucking not shtick by shtick. I'm going to handle it the way I do with anything. If it doesn't affect me, I'm going to ignore it. So I feel like the whole gatekeeping thing, it is more like the me mentality. And look, that was something that was let go. My response was like, hey, totally understand that. It wasn't, hey, I think your idea is bad. Let's figure out a new way to collab. Because if it was to the thought that Frankie was talking about yesterday on Barstool Radio, which is, hey, why don't we bring in other brands? We want to do more with other brands. We want to be collaborative. That's when I grabbed that and was like, okay, Frankie doesn't seem to know. It seems like his filter of how the conversation went down came from Riggs' mouth, and he's painting it as, look at this dog shit idea. Like, look at these guys trying to step on our turf and do all these different things. So I hear Frankie talking about it and answering a question that wasn't even specific to bringing up other brands internally. It's kind of like, oh, it seems like they felt some type of way, and there's some disconnect there. And then when I say my thing on Twitter and you come in, I think it's a lame idea, and then you double down with the lame thing, that's where it's like, okay, let's, just like I handle anything else.
I sent you one text message 7 months ago. I wake up yesterday, I get tagged, and then you put a 5-minute video out. I've put out one tweet, like, you went nuts about it. You're clearly upset about it. My whole point, the whole thing is like, we've collaborated for 8 years. We've been at Barstool Sports. We did a collaborative merch with KFC Radio, with the Spaceman and Barstool Golf. Like, we've collaborated forever. We were part of the original 15 people in the content pen. We've been doing fucking everything. And yes, does it annoy me when other brands start putting out golf series after golf series? Of course it does. We built this fucking thing from the ground up. We used to get dragged onto Barstool Radio and crucified for filming golf videos. Kevin was there. We were the Boondoggle Boys. We somehow built it to a point where it's an incredibly amazing thing. It's the coolest job in the world. Nobody would want, in their own company, no less, to have the massive operations going on that are potentially going to oversaturate the market of what you're doing. So are we protective as fuck about the brand that we built? Of course we are, but there's endless examples of us collaborating with everybody.
If you're Riggs, intellectually, why would you help Will Compton sell golf merch if you're selling golf merch yourself? If he wants to sell golf merch, go sell it. Like, that's fine. I'm not going to help you do it. But like, why am I gonna? It's not benefiting me at all. Like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, hey, I do it maybe in a nicer way because I like Will, but I'd be like, and I think I'm all set. I think we're gonna try and sell our own stuff.
I tend to agree with Kirk. I don't really know Will at all. But
guy,
to
great guy.
Riggs's point about like them building it from the ground up, and then he also made the point about like I remember those days, the early Barstool Radio days, where they would go off to make golf content and get absolutely sewered on radio by Dave being like, "Oh, the Boondoggle Boys, you guys are just going out there golfing, tough life you guys have," and they have one of the biggest brands at Barstool now. So I think I tend to lean Riggs in this one. I think where people get turned off maybe a little bit is that he can be a little stuffy. Like he has that
going on.
Yeah. Like I know early Riggs. Like I know like 2016 Riggs is not the same now as Country Club Riggs. It's a different guy, but I feel like he's also he's got more of a business sense now, and he should be. It's not necessarily gatekeeping. It's not gatekeeping.
He did say, by the way, he made a joke. He's like, if we're gatekeeping, we're the worst fucking gatekeepers in the world.
Right.
But
it's not gatekeeping. It's protecting his brand, which I think he should feel like he has a right to do. And what Kirk was saying about how, like, all right, yeah, so this isn't a collaboration. This is like you kind of latching on to foreplay to boost your sales in the golf space because you're in the football world and you're trying to get into the golf world and you want us to elevate you there. What's the benefit for us?
The one thing I was interested in that didn't really come up was, does Riggs care? To me, like a few months ago, I was at the Corn Ferry Tour with those guys when PFT and Hank did the video breaking 100. There was a clear ripoff of what Trent was doing. And like, I could see why they were pissed off by that. That I understand. But like, if I wanted to, or Bustin' the Boys want to sell golf shirts, I don't think they have any right to bitch about that. Like, that's a totally different situation. I'm not, if I say, hey, tomorrow we're putting up Kirkman and Show golf merchandise, like, I don't think anybody who was going to buy that was going to buy the foreplay shirt instead. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, Riggs has got to say, and those guys, and I don't know, I'm sure I'll talk to Riggs at some point, but if they're like, hey, I don't think you should be doing that. Like, those guys didn't invent fucking golf shirts. Like, that's a different situation. Whereas if I was saying, hey, we're going to go do a bunch of golf tournaments all over the country, well, then, you know, you got to tell us to fuck off there. There is a line where if Riggs is offended that they're actually just selling shirts, that's different. Which
he was pretty clear that he wasn't, right? Yeah, like he said, he's like,
but I don't know with him. He's sensitive. He is cunty, as he said today. So
you did apologize to Will. He said my reply was
cunty. Like, I don't. So if that's the issue, then it's like, well, like, I don't think we have to go crawling to Riggs every time we want to sell a golf shirt. I mean, like, they're fucking golf shirts.
I didn't take that as being the issue. I took it as, why should we help you sell your merch?
Right.
Because I don't think that the collaboration helps foreplay sell their merch. So I get it from like, if you don't want to help them out, that's your prerogative. I feel like sometimes that does happen in the Barstool world, but a lot of times it doesn't. Like it's got to be a mutually beneficial thing for a lot of brands that want to collaborate there. And I see it from Riggs' side. Like, if he doesn't want to help him out, he doesn't want to help him out.
He touched on a few things too. Will said, he mentioned, he's like, he helped out with the classing and stuff. And Riggs was pretty adamant. He's like, one, he said, like, yeah, I'm sorry. My reply was like, I think he said cunty was the word, I believe.
Well, he's an asshole. I mean, I like him.
Riggs. But he also said, he's like, I don't like, it wasn't about you doing it. It was about, I just didn't want to be a part of it. Cause like something, Caleb dropped the Sunday Conversation golf polo in the middle of that back and forth.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a parody when I saw it.
I think it's a pretty cool looking shirt, honestly.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. But right, to your point, I don't think they care about it. For months, I've had people, my listeners say, oh, we do golf stuff. And I've always been kind of hesitant, but now I'm like, well, we'll just do it. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
He will also mention the larger, and you'll see some of it with Surviving Barstool. I don't want to overhype the show, but you will definitely see that, whether it's good or not, we'll see. Right. But you will see the back and forth bad blood. And Will did reference that. He said, you know, I thought this was like a team thing, and I've realized that's not the case here, which is definitely true. I mean, that's not
pie in the sky. I love Compton, but like that, this is like a business. Like, everyone's
true.
Like, it's kind of a team in theory, but everyone's doing.
I've always viewed, my main show is literally only exists because of a collaboration. Like, without that, I would not have a show. So I think show stuff, you get it, but I do think there is there is a line with merch. Like I don't have like a big merch fan. Like we have like the dozen game and stuff. So like for me, promoting merch is like when Black Friday, Cyber Monday rolls around, I'll promote other people like their cool shit as well. And like I'll promote my game, but like I'll do that. But then there's other brands where like they have like 4 players. So, Riggs is going to have an apartment full. He won't go move his an apartment in a week. He's going to get so many things delivered to show off for Black Friday. So I get that. I get like the content thing. I think if you don't collab on content, you're probably being a piece of shit. Like if you like, but the merch stuff is different. I think I do get that, especially how big their brand is.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, we have the worst merch in the history of the company, so I have no fucking idea. But yeah, it sounds good.
You got to pick a side now, though, Kirk. Riggs or Will.
Oh, in this argument,
yeah,
Riggs. I mean, the Riggs. I mean, it's too bad. Okay. Will is a nicer human being. Riggs is a terrible person. A friend of mine, but he's a bad human being. But Will's a nicer person. But Will picked the wrong fight on this one. Like there's a better fight to be had in the larger are we a team or are we team argument than, hey, why won't you collaborate and help me sell golf merch while you're trying to sell golf merch? He just picked the wrong argument on this one, I think.
Yeah. Riggs has a lot of Vince McMahon in him, Kirk. Like he's willing to step on some throats. He's willing to do whatever it takes to take his thing to the top. Whereas Will, a much nicer human being, he's kind of got like puppy dog brain where he wants to come in there and he wants to smell you, he wants to get pat by you, and he wants to collaborate. He wants to have fun. And I was missing the context about Will going to the Barstool Classic because it's kind of like, all right, like, you know, I'm doing something for you. Like, how about you do something for me? Like that's a pretty big missing piece, for at least for me, if they weren't aware of that part of the story. Like,
if I'm Riggs, I'm like, I appreciate you doing that, but you're still.
But we don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just this is a.
But it's the gesture. It's the gesture. Like it's a friendly gesture. It's not like Will is coming out of the woodwork being like, we're not friends. You've never done anything for me. You're just like, we've never had any type of cross before, and now all of a sudden you want me to help you sell your merch. Like, fuck you. But if he's going to support the Barstool Classic, like that's something that's a back scratch type move.
Yeah, Riggs an asshole. Who's disputing this? Riggs wouldn't.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if it had been like Will saying just straight up like, hey, would you want to do like a golf thing together? And like they may still say no, but like then I think then that starts to bleed a little more into it. It's the merch thing. The merch thing gets a little hairy, and we're coming up on what is often a fiery time with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Jared, you were in the crosshairs.
Jared's the worst in history at this.
I would say.
I do not think you were the worst, because the time that it got really ugly during COVID, you were not the big loser in that one.
Well, YP was, but I was the dude that got sewered in the company email. Like
that's true.
YP got sewered on Dave's podcast. I got sewered on the company email. I was just wise enough to keep my mouth shut. YP put out a statement in a video in the middle of the woods addressing it, where I was just like, all right, like I'm still not going to fucking promote any merch, but I'm not going to bark back on this one. Like I know when to keep my mouth shut. But yeah, that was the same Black Friday. That was 2020, I believe.
I think this year will be way crazier because it's the first year he owns the company again. So
right.
I think it's going to be full, like, and he's going to focus on somebody. I don't know who it is, but somebody will be.
I don't know what our stunt is. You and I are going to be in New York, it sounds like.
Right. Yeah.
I want to fully commit you on that.
I don't know what I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what our thing is. I don't know. Like,
if there's any Barstool employees that are new to Black Friday, take it from me. Promote early and often. The night before, set your alarm. Oh, if you're an early sleeper, guess what? You're fucking setting your alarm because you want to start promoting at midnight. Throw some tweets out there until like 1 a.m. Then wake up early the next morning. Get at it early. All this stuff counts. Like he's watching. Like he's Santa Claus in a way. Like he sees it all. And if he doesn't, then he's got Gaz that sees it, and he has other people that see it. Like you don't want to be. And sometimes it's random. Sometimes it's tenure. Like I'm giving advice to the newer people, but if you're one of the older people that have been there, you don't need me to tell you, but he'll go harder at the people that he knows he can do that with. So Black Friday was it was a bad time. I feel like he just knew that I could take it. So every fucking Black Friday, I'll just get sewered, but I'm just happy to not be a part of that anymore.
You were, you were pulled in on the Duncan Awards too. You were kind of always like the last line. You were like the
But the Duncan Awards was different because that one like he was bringing in everyone into radio, like on their hands and knees in tears. And I was just like, I thought I looked good. Like I disagree with your assessment of my outfit.
I quoted the Compton video last night is whenever people are infighting in Barstool, it reminds me of right after the Duncan Awards. This had happened. It was right around when the Francis thing was going to happen as well, because he was involved in Duncan. You were Bob Fox, and then also Chef Donnie and $20 Chef.
Yeah.
The big homie were fighting. And
Ernie.
Dave posted a selfie video of him just going like this as his helicopter is leaving Manhattan airspace. It's all it was. And I'll never forget. I was like, that was because I'd been there for just over a year, but that was my first, like, Dave destroyed me on live anything. I remember being like, wow, that's really, we just got the strings pulled. This was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's good advice, Jared. Save from your camera roll, save as many items, whether they're yours or not, and just fucking post them everywhere.
Even if if you should, it's honestly worth, like, if you were to go out there and hire an intern and to give them your socials, it's worth it to pay them $100 to just be like, just spam my timeline for 24 straight hours. That $100 would be the best $100 that you've ever invested.
Anything, Kirk, you also mentioned, I saw you brought up on Twitter, your trivia team's debuting a new member. Jared, a former member of your trivia team.
Jared was the original. We were talking. Jared was on my show last week, I think, right, Jared? And and the way our team was sort of promoted was Jared's team with me and Steve, which I quickly swallowed that. And
I was basically like, if Pete Best were the front man.
I think of it more as like when the manager introduced the Undertaker for the first time. Like, you just kind of somebody had to bring him out, and then we yes, or Pete
makes sense.
or Pete Best.
Yeah,
we have
you're debuting Hank on Thursday night.
Yes,
against Foreplay.
Yeah.
Though you had a tweet this morning, Rico helped out Bob Fox.
I know.
Bob Fox's team.
I hate the woman on that team too. I have no use for her. So,
well, you said
Gia,
Clemmer, and Robbie, but you said helping the enemy. Who was the enemy? All of them?
I would rank her first. Robbie Fox is such a zero. I would rank him zero no matter what the list is. He's always zero. Clemmer is on my show this week, so he's fine. But I have no Rico. I think I'm in the ban. There's not a lot of worry about Hank getting a phone a friend call. But I think I'm going to, all due respect to the commissioner, I think I'm going to ban my team from accepting phone a friend calls. I can do
your call, your team.
Yeah, I can do it. Of course, I never get called, which may seem, who knows, even stranger as time goes on, Jeff. But I was.
You've been called one time.
One, I didn't answer because I was there.
Jared, do you have a guess?
You know who it was? Brandon Walker.
No, an enemy.
Isn't Brandon Walker an enemy? Who isn't an enemy?
He's not real. A new enemy, one of the newest enemies.
Very recent enemy.
Yeah.
Man,
I have a nickname for it, Jeff. I don't know if it's good on the rundown, but if you guys want to get rid of it later, it's fine. It's what is it? Cunting cunt is what I call her now. Megan making money.
Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think that's a Black Friday winner. No, I don't know.
So there's always a redemption arc for Team Kirk.
I don't see it.
Like,
she's too stupid for
members that kind of come back around.
I don't know.
There is.
No, she's busy. Listen, somebody's got to clean the bathrooms in Chicago, you know.
Wow.
What?
Did you give any? Well, did you ever give any thought to bringing me back when you had an open seat? Am I allowed? Am I eligible, Jeff?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, you're doing this.
The hot dog guy is in the league. Of course you are. Chestnut's in the league.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm the forgotten first member of a lot of things around here. First member of Team Kirk Minahan. A forgotten first member of the Yak.
True.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's many more than that. You said many things. You've listed two.
Did you ever think that?
Go ahead.
Wrestling? I guess the wrestling.
Yeah. Me and Robbie Fox, the first wrestling podcasters at Barstool Sports.
Early in Barstool Radio. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever think that when you were starting the Yak, the first ever episode, and you looked over and saw Stephen Shea through the glass, that he'd be the Stephen Shea he is right now?
Yeah, because I feel like I knew Stephen Shea, the non-business floor Stephen Shea. So I knew that he had it in him back then.
Good friend of Kirk, Stephen Shea.
One of the best. But no, Jared, I should have. But as you said, you're a great phone. You're one of our great phoner friends. So I didn't want to lose that. That's what you're.
Yeah. No, that's probably the smart.
You're born for. Yeah.
I don't get dozen brain. as they say. When
That's
I just
true.
get, like,
That's a real
corner
term.
I've seen it.
Yep.
Term it's used. Anything else for Jared here? It's get like rarefied air with Jared. I mean, he's on your show now and then, so it's not like like we haven't spoken to him or heard from him in a
I talk to him
while.
all the time. It's great to have him here. It's good. I mean, eventually we know he's going to be back at the company, so we're all kind of playing this game, and we'll get through whatever's going on now, and he'll be back here in whatever, a year and a half. I don't know.
I don't know what the timeline is.
Yeah,
It's, you never know.
It's inevitable.
I saw you decorated for Christmas for the first time.
I did. Yeah. First
Did
time.
you see the
ever.
decorations, Kirk?
Yeah, I did.
No, he's not on. You did?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me on Twitter. Somebody had a
fucking-
picture of it or something. I don't know what it is. People said this stuff. It was on
I
Instagram
didn't-
or something?
Yeah, it was on Instagram.
Yeah,
You're
somebody
not
sent
on
me a
Instagram.
picture of it on Twitter, I think.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I was decorated.
Are you a Christmas guy?
No, that's why.
That's what I mean, but like, you just felt like you had to do it this year?
No, I mean, like, it's my first Christmas as a homeowner. So I feel like people in my family are like, oh, what are you gonna not decorate for Christmas? Like, that's super depressing. So my sister took my credit card and bought Christmas decorations, came over, opened the boxes, and then decorated. So like, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Right. Okay. Does it feel nicer walking around the house now with the Christmas?
No, it's actually there's fucking glitter everywhere. Like, there's glitter everywhere.
Yeah, Christmas stinks.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, they stink. Just get through it. That's my advice. Just keep your head down and get through it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Buy merch.
And buy merch and post.
Buy merch. Yeah, absolutely.
Buy
Buy
merch.
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe drink some. I don't have it in front of me. Some cranberry High Noon. Thank you to High Noon for sponsoring the rundown. Jared, great having you back.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Was an honor. For Kirk, Jared, Jeff D'Lo. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the rundown.